Hi guys, today we're going to be talking about the difference between the transition with an iron and the driver. Is there a difference?
Welcome to the Asprey, you're watching Me and My Golf TV.
Okay, so I've had a question through Facebook from Pim Sholton saying he's struggling to get the difference between the transition from an iron to a wood. So he's struggling to sort of understand how we should start the downswing differently with an iron and a wood, and says that he's clear with an iron that we should have a weight shift and then a rotation, but he feels that with a driver that he's trying to stay behind it more and get a full rotation of the hips. So we're going to explain the difference between an iron, hitting an iron and a wood, and whether we should feel anything different in the downswing piece, really. Sure. So first of all, let's just go through what we look for with an iron piece. I know we've got a driver here, but let's just go through what we look for with an iron in terms of our downswing. So if you take your setup for me, and we just need an analysis line now, just from your lead.
An iron, actually,
go with an iron, actually. Go with an iron.
Let's go with the iron.
Okay, so let's go with our analysis line that we draw up every time we look at our students from the outside of the lead heel straight up. Now, from the top of the golf swing, what do we like to see, Piers?
Well, from here, as you said, we want a, as Pim said, sorry, we want a shift and a turn towards the target. So the lower body moves and turns towards the target, and then obviously the upper body follows.
So an impact there will be against that line, okay, and we will have rotated the hips and torso.
For sure.
Yes. So there's a lateral move with rotation.
With rotation.
Okay. But the head still stays pretty much behind the ball.
I mean, the head doesn't sort of go over here. So let's do that again one more time. So lower body moves and turns, and the upper body follows, and then we strike into the golf ball. Okay. So let's just switch to the driver now, and then let's just put the same analysis line. Then you get a lot of people. We hear people say, "I need to stay behind it with the driver." Now, the difference with the driver is obviously we're teeing the ball up higher. Now, the ball, as we mentioned in previous videos, we want the ball forward in the stance. Now, if you think about this, we're going to go slightly wider stance. The ball goes further forward, so this actually puts us more behind it to start with, Piers. For sure.
So we don't actually really need to try and hang back or stay behind it. Our setup is really going to do this for us.
I mean, I'm assuming that everybody actually does do the correct thing with their spine. When they put the ball forward, we know we've talked about this in previous videos, that some people can tend to reach for it when the ball's forward. So you get the ball forward and then make sure you are tilted behind the golf ball. That's for sure. You must make sure of that.
So
now you're behind it.
Definitely, So if you can do all the sort of getting behind the golf ball at your setup, then it just makes the golf swing easier. And really, we don't want to feel anything different in the transition piece.
No.
If we put ourselves in a position where we are tilted away, weight's pretty neutral on the feet, we still want that shift towards the target, and we still want that rotation. But hopefully the setup that we create there will allow us to, again, just stay behind it, as we mentioned, but we are still shifting weight towards the target, Piers.
Yeah, for sure. So because of the setup, I turn back, I'm behind the golf ball more than I am with an iron perhaps. And from there, lower body moves and turns towards the target. And as you say, I'm behind it because of virtue of my setup.
Definitely. Now, it sounds like what Pim's trying to do is he's thinking, well, okay, I'm going to set up as normal with the driver, but it sounds like you're just trying to rotate without actually shifting any weight.
It couldn't possibly would look a little bit like this. So hitting it off the back foot. You know what? It can work, but it's probably not the best way to do it.
You'll certainly lose power, you'll lose flight, okay? That could lead to a number of different sort of directional issues as well, possibly some high shots, but also some slice shots as well. Engaging that lower body, still going that way with the driver is really important for sequencing the downswing piece as well. So I hope that clears it up. Again, good question there. What's the difference between hitting the iron and a driver? Really, in the golf swing, we don't really want to have two different thoughts. The transition is exactly the same. We want to shift and rotate. The setup is different. That's going to allow us to get behind that driver. So great question there. Keep them coming. We love to answer these. And 2014, please give us lots to work on for you guys. We want to help you achieve your goals. Okay, guys, thanks again as usual, and we'll see you next time.
5 clubs, and you can say, right, with those 5 clubs, you can hit 5 golf balls, and pick a target on the range. I like to go really small. I like to go for a 10-yard gap, because that means that when they get on the golf course, they never really have a 10-yard gap on the golf.